Hello everybody, my name is Jeff Ofterheide, and today we're going to be giving you the Methods and Materials 101 on how to make kombucha tea. This is the end product right here, and this is kind of what we're going to be after. If you notice, it's in a glass container, and it's going to be ready to drink here in about another day or two. Anyways, that being said, some of the materials that you do need is a calculator, some organic cane sugar. There are many different types of sugar out there. You can use honey, you can use turbinado, I believe is how it's pronounced. They also have refined white sugar. I would highly recommend that you don't use that. This one you can pick up at Whole Foods. We have tea. You need different types of tea. We have white tea, we have green tea, and we have our black teas. We need rubber bands to securely fashion our handkerchief to the top, and as you can see right here, we have a handkerchief, and we also have a thermometer to get the temperature reading. We have measuring devices here, so we can measure out our sugar, and we have a container to measure out our liquid. And finally, probably the most important, is we have our starter liquid. Now we can get this from any bottle of kombucha out there, and that's probably the biggest lie of them all, is that you need to go online and purchase this starter kit for $100 or however much they're selling it for. You go out and you buy a bottle of any type of kombucha, and let's put it inside of this container right here. And what we're going to do is we're saving this, and we're protecting it from contaminants here with a coffee filter on top, and it's being securely fashioned down by this fastener ring up here. Finally, what we have here is a cooking pot. Now this is, I believe, stainless steel. And what we're going to be doing is putting the liquid in here. Now we have our measurements already planned out. What we're going to be doing is, for the starter liquid, we want a smaller amount to give a better chance of success to our kombucha blend, or kombucha brew. So what I've done is I've put 2 liters of water in this container, and what we're going to do is we're going to be adding that to the metal container. Okay, so we're just going to add 2 liters of water in. Now, we want to be concerned on what kind of water we use. There's many different types. Of course, there's tap water, there's distilled water, and there's carbon block filtered water. We want to make sure that we have the purest water available, because any contaminants will be transferred and absorbed by the kombucha blend. Distilled water is preferred because it is considered dead water. It will magnetize, so to speak, to any... Oh, geez, wow, this is great. What it will do is the distilled water, it is considered dead water, and what it'll do is it'll actually draw out all the nutrients in the tea. Coincidentally, when you put it in your body, it has a magnetizing effect, and it will also draw out toxins in your system as well. So we're going to be using distilled water here, and you can pick that up in any good grocery store. We're going to be adding 2/3 cup of the sugar right here, the organic cane sugar. Now, the calculations are roughly per liter of water, you want to add roughly between 70 and 80 grams of sugar. And also, as we add this sugar here, okay, we're going to want roughly 5 grams of tea per liter. Now, I've done some calculations, and that roughly means that in this particular brand, and you have to do look at each specific brand of tea. They're going to give you the weight and measurements on the actual box. It actually comes up to about 6.5, 7 bags. So in this case, I'm going to use 7 bags of tea. So we're going to actually wait, and Chris is going to cut that out later. We're going to bring this over to the stove here. We're going to boil this water here. Now, in order to make sure that the water is under the most sterile conditions, we're going to boil this water for roughly, 2 or 3 minutes, okay? This is going to absorb all of the all of the sugar, and it's going to create a nice little bath. Okay. Now, one of the other critical portions of creating this nutrient bath is making proof positive that we prepare the tea properly. So we're going to read the instructions here. This one says to bring just to a just below a boil and steep for 1 or 2 minutes. So that's what we're going to do for this particular tea. Green tea is different and black tea is different. And I would recommend that we just stick with the plain teas when we first get started here, because what's going to happen is you start adding different flavors. If you add different oils, that may actually do is actually kill the SCOBY. The SCOBY stands for a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. Right, SCOBY, Joe?
Correct.
Okay. So as we're bringing that to a boil, why don't you come over and take a look, and let's take a look at see how that's doing, if we can. That's just coming to a boil. And while we're doing that, we can start preparing our tea. I'm going to take out all of our tea bags here and just lay them out on the table, or we can actually lay them in a cup so they don't get wet. Now, you may notice when you go to the store that the different prices or tea actually comes in different prices. This actually is due to the way that the different teas are processed. You're literally, the cheaper teas, you're literally getting the scraps that are swept off the floor. The more expensive teas are the little bit higher grade. Probably what you would want if you want the maximum benefit to your health is the actual tea leaves themselves, or the plant material. And you can actually boil those or put those in water and actually let the oils from the leaves actually permeate the water. All right, so now what we're doing is we're just waiting for this water to come to a boil. Again, I highly recommend that you use distilled water. If you use tap water, it has fluoride and other nutrients in it, I would say detrimental nutrients. I'm not sure you could call those nutrients, maybe dead bacteria, dead flesh, whatever the chlorine kills and the fluoride is supposed to help. You can actually hear this starting to come to a boil. Now, when this actually does come to a boil, we're going to let it boil for a little bit, and we're going to let it simmer, and then we're going to add the tea. One of the critical components to brewing kombucha is making sure that you properly have the temperature control. So in order to do this, I purchased a thermometer, an electronic thermometer, and this gives very accurate readings very quickly. So if you are very impatient, if you have a difficult time waiting for things, this will give you an accurate reading right away. The ideal temperature for kombucha tea is roughly between 75, that's kind of on the low end if you can, and about 84 degrees max. Any higher than that, it can kill any enzymes, it can kill actually the culture itself, and that's not what we want, okay? What we want is a nice, even environment for the bacteria and the yeast to actually have the ability to ferment and produce the nutrients that are going to be beneficial for our bodies. All right, let's go over and take a look at how our water bath is doing. And it's starting to boil a little bit. You see the little bubbles in there.